And today I've got 3 rules for you to stay hot this summer. Summertime means longer daylight and warmer weather. At least it does here in the Northern Hemisphere. This leads to big upticks in opportunities to get outside and participate in activities, social events, and much more. If you're like a lot of people and you finish up work sometime between 4 and 6 p.m., you can still have as many as 5 hours before the sun starts to go down. When it's this nice out, you may be tempted to skip the gym in favor of heading outside to catch the sun before it sets for the evening. I'm the same way. But you've also put in a lot of work in the gym, and nobody wants to see their progress disappear. If only there was a secret recipe for how to maintain your gains with the most minimal effort possible so that you can be focused on your summertime fun. Don't worry, I've got you covered. But before I jump into those 3 tips, it would mean a lot to me if you could go like this video really quick. If this is your second or third time back to the channel and you've been enjoying this content, be sure to subscribe too so you don't miss out on future releases of new videos. Okay, rule number 1, hit your protein early. Summer shouldn't be the time to stress about your macros. So ditch the scale. You'll save yourself a lot of tough conversations at the pool party and barbecue that you attend when you aren't pulling out the scale or passing on the pasta salad because you just aren't sure what the macros are. Taking a few weeks off or even a couple months off of tracking your food closely can be a great reset. It can open up a lot more flexibility in your social life and allow you to adapt to more spontaneous outings. If you follow me, then you know I'm a big proponent of eating the highest food quality possible whenever and wherever you can. Opting for minimally processed foods, buying fresh produce, sourcing excellent protein, and preparing your own food most of the time. But being too strict on the high quality food train can and might mean more stress in social situations or eating out. What happens when the pizza arrives at an impromptu social dinner at the beach? What will you do when the store-bought guacamole arrives and it has some seed oil in it? And how about when your kids hear that ice cream truck and they want some on a super hot day? Look, you can indulge in lower quality foods and not completely derail your progress too. So what's the secret? Well, here are the things that I don't want you to negotiate on. At the end of the summer, you don't want to see a massive shift in your body composition or your muscle mass. The goal would be to decrease food stress and be more flexible, but not lose muscle and not gain more than a couple percentage points of body fat. So what are you going to do? You're going to prioritize protein, especially early in the day. Most summertime activities and social events happen later in the day anyway. So prioritize your protein at breakfast and lunch. Be sure you're getting 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight each and every day. Since we're not weighing and measuring, this is going to be a perfect time to move to the hand measurement method. A palm-sized portion of protein is going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of protein. Since I'm aiming to get around 200 grams of protein a day, I make sure that each of my meals, 3 to 4 meals, has 2 palm-sized portions of protein. The remaining grams I'm going to get from other plant-based sources of calories. Remember, potatoes and vegetables, they have some protein in them too to go along with your lean meats and the things that you're having for your primary sources of protein. Now, what about calories? Well, my goal here is to keep my daily calories within 5 to 10% of my maintenance. If I've been trying to eat 3,500 calories daily to maintain my fitness and my physique, and I've been tracking this, then I would allow for a range during the summer of 3,200 to 3,800 every day. Having tracked calories for quite some time, I know roughly what that will look like on a plate. And this is where having a background in counting can be helpful. If there's a food that I really want to have that is high calorie, I'll make sure to place that at the center of my meal and only fill around it with low calorie foods. For example, pizza's here, high calorie. I'll put that at the center of my plate, and then I'm going to fill around it with a low calorie food like watermelon. I want you to also be conscious of days when you know you're going to be indulgent in food or alcohol consumption later that evening. Those are the days that it would be worthwhile to eat lighter in the early part of the day. So make your breakfast and lunch meals protein only and save a little bit of those calories for later when you want to drink and eat pizza with your friends. All right, tip number 2. Follow the 2x2 training rule for max results and minimal time in the gym. The 2x2 rule is this. It means take 2 exercises per day in the gym, hit 2 sets of each of those exercises at a very high effort level. And to put a number to that, I want to make sure that 2 sets of those 2 exercises are at 9 out of 10 of your perceived effort level. Yes, I said it. You probably only need to pick 2 exercises each day in the gym and perform them at high intensity for 2 to 3 sets each. That is only 4 to 6 sets total. But come on, Marcus, that can't be enough, can it? Here's the deal. I'm not saying you only need to go to the gym and do 4 to 6 sets and then leave. No, if we're talking about giving 9 out of 10 effort, that means doing a lot more than just 2 to 3 sets. What most people don't realize is the most impactful and effective lifting that you do in the gym happens when you hit these higher effort sets that get you close, but not all the way, to failure. However, in order to give that level of effort, you need to do sufficient warm-up and submaximal sets beforehand. There are going to be at least 3 to 5 sets that you're going to perform before you ever get close to those 9 out of 10 effort level sets at the end. When you follow effective training plans and give the level of effort necessary to see changes, this is where the vast majority of time is spent. To hit 9 out of 10 levels of effort, you got to put in a lot of time. There's mental prep, there's physical prep, it all has to happen. Then, you also need to take long enough rest periods between your working sets so that you can give sufficient effort on the next set and the next set. If you come to the gym and you try to do this for every exercise that you're doing on that day, sessions immediately start to take as much as 90 minutes or even 2 hours to get done completely. So this is where I see the opportunity. During the summer, don't make 9 out of 10 effort the goal for everything you do in your training. You're going to come in and you're still going to hit 6 to 8 exercises that you have listed in a single session. But simply pick 2 of them on that day to really get after. For the rest of the exercises and the rest of your training, just make it 6 or 7 out of 10 on the effort scale. When you approach training like this, you can dedicate about 20 to 25 minutes to preparing for and executing your priority lifts. Then you can spend the other 15 to 20 minutes knocking out the rest of your accessory work or conditioning work. In my programs in Persist, that could look like giving full effort 9 out of 10 on the intensity supersets in Pump or the absolute strength training sections of Perform. All in, I would do a 5-minute warm-up, and then I would spend 15 to 20 minutes on focused intensity work in these areas. Then I would wrap up my training with an additional 15 to 20 minutes of accessory work or conditioning work. You can be in and out of the gym in 45 to 50 minutes. Hit this 3 to 4 times per week during the summer and hold on to all of your hard-earned muscle. Consistency and effort, those 2 variables are way more important than the volume that you do in the gym or the total time that you spend there. Okay, tip number 3 is get active. Remember, you're trading gym time for other active lifestyle things. So keep moving and hold yourself accountable to walking at least 8,000 steps per day. This last point about getting active, I know it seems simple, but here is where people can make a mistake. First, you're cutting down on your gym time to the minimum effective dose. That minimum effective dose is all about preserving your muscle. We know that muscle is the number 1 most important thing to keeping your metabolism high. The next most important contribution to your metabolism potentially is your non-exercise activity. Presumably, you are going to be out in the world enjoying your summer and being active. But if activity looks like going to a pool party or a barbecue and sitting around and talking with friends while drinking and eating, then that might not be a lot of activity overall. What we want to do is we want to make sure that if you're decreasing your gym time, and therefore your total training time and activity, that you're making up for it somewhere else. So if you're headed out to play beach volleyball instead of going to the gym, then great, you're all set. After work, there's extra daylight and you're going to head out for an evening hike, then don't stress about it. But if you plan a social activity that is fairly sedentary, use something like a step count each day to hold you accountable. Every phone or wearable device these days has a step counter. Aim to get 8 to 10,000 steps per day. Break it up. Do some in the morning, some at noon, some in the evening. Maybe just plan to go get 2,000 steps after each meal. It's a small thing that has a big impact, so just make the commitment to staying active. My hope is that if you orient to these 3 simple rules, you can feel more relaxed about your fitness and nutrition. This will leave you more energized and available to take advantage of opportunities in front of you this summer. Now go ahead, drop me a comment below. Let me know what you're doing this summer and how you plan to use this information to have more fun than ever and keep the body that you've worked hard for. And until next time, get out and enjoy yourself. You totally deserve it. Take care.